and small.
Now my glands were quite big, bro.
James
Glands were
like,
massive for like
James Holland says look like Big Macs, and his look like those cheap 99p double cheeseburgers.
this guy, no? Because I was showing him some pictures of like before I got mine done, and it's like it was exactly the same. You couldn't even tell, you couldn't even see it. But when they got cut out, they were fucking huge.
Yeah, but I think people forget that it's a gland in itself. Like there's even when you're sort of visible, there is size to it already. I was talking to James about this.
Yeah.
Like it's especially like the bigger the peck is as well. The gland grows with the peck, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like because the tissue stretches.
But bro, on my right side, you could never see anything. Yeah. On my left side, that's the one I said here. That's the one that fucking hurts. Yeah. But my right side, you couldn't even feel nothing there. But when you pulled it out, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
I'll show people. I'll show the. Bro, just get it done, man. It's 4 weeks, bro. This is the Gyno.
Yum.
What's mad? What the weird thing was when they obviously numb you, right? So they inject out this. I was telling Chudley, he said to me, "This is the most painful bit." So I was expecting like a 20 gauge or something in my chest, yeah. I just felt like a small, like a slim pin here, slim pin there, and they start to fill it up with fluid, yeah. And he goes, "You're gonna feel like your chest is expanding." And I was like, "Fucking hell, get a big pump." But at this point, I'm on the diazepam, so I'm a little bit in my own world, yeah.
I told you were fantastic.
Did you take diazepam, or did they give it to you?
No, I was prescribed that by my doctor.
Okay.
They can't give it to you if you ask, but I thought I'd just take it myself. I took 5 milligrams of that, so it wasn't a lot. Then you feel like your chest is expanding, and then literally all you hear is like, and your pecs are full, and then they're like, "Right, we're gonna do the lipo." Did a bit of lipo under my pec, and then he goes, boom. That was about 20 seconds.
Ryan said his took ages, and he said it was like really uncomfortable.
I think that's the bit that makes the biggest change to the shape of the pec. Like if you notice it when people get it done, like their pec forms like quite a nice round shape. I think it's because they've taken all the fat off it. It kind of never goes back there again.
Yeah.
I think with me,
lipo. That's why lipo is actually like if you're gonna get lipo, it's for that reason because it kills off the fat cells.
Yeah.
The thing is, bro, I think because I'm not super fat and I've stayed quite lean, and when they did it on my pec, I think the main reason why he did it was because he wanted to see if it was a gland there or not, because even he couldn't feel nothing in the right side. So he did it the right side, and he goes, "What does it feel like?" I goes, "Like you're poking a water balloon, but you can't." It's mad because you can't feel it, but you can.
You can feel the something's moving you, not the actual lady feeling around it. Yeah.
Yeah, like you can feel like the motion. It's like a. And then he did my left side, and then I went because he must have hit my top pec. That hurt. And then literally, then he goes, "Right, we're gonna do the gyno bit." Right side took about 5 minutes. Left side took a bit longer, but you can feel them because they only cut half your tit. They're also trying to get it through your nipple, like, as in.
Yeah.
So he's tugging at it, and I was just like, "Oh, what the fuck!" I was trying not to. I try not to smile because you could smell it when they're burning the bastard.
Yeah. That's horrendous. It smells like pork.
Yeah, I literally, he stitched it and he goes, "You're done." And I goes, "Is that it? 25 minutes?" I goes, "I've worked myself up proper for this, man. Like 7-8 weeks." But I had no pain yesterday. I spoke to Nathan. Nathan goes, "Try not taking any painkillers. Let's see what the pain's like." I had no pain until last night at 8 o'clock, a little bit in my left side, because the fluid's still coming out, you see. And on the right side, I had a little bit of pain this morning, but I'm not taking any painkillers until I need them.
That's a good idea, mate.
And then tomorrow, I spoke. Hey?
Have you got any drains?
No, it comes out by itself.
I had drains on mine for some reason.
Yeah, no, I've not got none. I don't think they use as much. And then I spoke to Hilly yesterday. Hilly goes, "Don't." Hilly said the same thing. They goes, "Don't use any GH," because I knew what it was like. So I've not used any GH or any BPC. I've used curcumin at a higher dosage. And then tomorrow,
for no GH,
because obviously we don't want to add more fluid. On top of that, I don't want it to repair too quick.
Yeah, I get it.
The other thing for me was is that when I did my pec surgery, right, I was working GH straight out of surgery, right, and when I got my cut done, it was like paper thin cut, and over the first couple of weeks when I've been moving it, and I've now got a really thick scar.
Yeah, like the skin's thick. Yeah.
I'm talking about it that thick, like it was only a paper cut. And when I spoke to a few people, it really sort of made sense that if I was high in dose and growth during that initial healing period, have I caused my body to produce more scar tissue? And it said to look a bit funky. What I said to us is, just while it's knitting, just with a normal dosage.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was, I said, don't put any BPC or anything the first couple of days, because during the 3 stages of recovery and healing, the first stage relies on the inflammation itself to kick off the first phase. So you want some inflammation the first sort of 24 to 48 hours, so that the second stage of healing can work properly. That's why they say if you tear yourself, if you injure yourself, you shouldn't get any deep tissue work or do anything to it the first, or take any ibuprofen the first 24, 48 hours, because your body needs that swelling, and it needs, we covered it in uni in depth, and I don't remember the geeky shit, but I just remember for it to move to stage 2, the inflammation part and the initial phases are important for that to happen properly. So I just said to him, don't go, because BPC is probably one of the strongest anti-inflammatory drugs on the planet. You wafting that in on day 1 after a surgery. I didn't know whether that was such a good idea.
Yeah, no,
I've just been taking the tablets because I'll put me on antibiotics. I think they use that as a second line of defence. So I put that in. I wasn't going to use them. I went, Nathan, they're going to fuck up my belly. So I've just been double dosaging the oral BPC and all the other gut stuff. But yeah, I'll add in the BPC and the GH in about 2 or 3 days. Put the GH straight in 10 IUs and get back into the gym.
So now that you have no titties that can aromatise, are you going straight in for 2 grams a test?
Nah, bro, I'm retired now.
Big boy numbers, bro.
I thought I'd just get it done for the banter.
You can literally, like, in about next week, you could probably train. That's what I've done.
Bro, do you know what it is? I know if I go to the gym, even knowing that I can train, I would try doing dumb shit, and then I will probably pop something. So I'd just rather not go.
Obviously, you can't train chest for a month.
But I will try to. That's the thing. I'm not going to go.
Well,
one of my colleagues was driving the end of the first week, and he ruptured all of his, in the UK, he ruptured all of his. He had to go and get a drainage done and everything because he'd been moving his arm about. So
obviously that's moving the steering wheel.
Yeah, and it ruptured the incision site, and he was sending me pictures, and it was fucking bad.
They have to drain that manually, bro, with no anaesthetic as well.
Yeah.
Because literally on Friday, thank fuck the turbo pump came, because on Friday it came and I was like, yes, it's here before my surgery. So I went and fucked up back. And then the day before I did hit a PB with Ryan in the gym on chest. So I do want to go train, but I know that I can't, so it's a bit peak.
So
I was hitting a nice
do I use your discount code? Do I get like a new barnet, new teeth, and new tits for like £10 in Turkey or what?
I've got a discount code.
Yeah. What if I draw tattoos on me with like a marker pen? Will they like accept me as one of your own?
No, just yeah. They're just.
I pretend to be you, Chuds.
Yeah. No, I haven't got discount codes or anything like that. I don't do commission with them or anything like that. It's just, you know.
Chudley owns a business, mate.
How's it going, all that stuff, Chuds? Winning?
What?
Like the business side of it. Weren't you doing something in the UK, like an office or something, to ship people out there to get work done?
Yeah, so obviously that's like, they do that thing, so obviously we just kind of help them a little bit. So we obviously,
Nice.
that's with that. But we got so many more companies that reach out to us and want to work with us. So it's like, it's hard to like, you know what I mean? Because
Just do one.
yeah, I mean, especially now as well, that we obviously do that couples page, and that's fucking blown up. So for us, it makes more sense. That's why we always like to say we're going to Antalya next week, because it makes more sense for us to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Just because you make more money that way with that.
Yeah.
And you ain't got to rely on idiots. Because the thing is, it's like people that well, not so much me, but like my missus, that they'll be messaging like, oh, I'm going and getting this done, and they're just asking like 100 questions. It's like, just fucking leave me alone, you can't.
Yeah, I get you.
I was so pissed off this morning, yeah. I was going to have a coffee, but deconfiscated it from me because it's in the surgery notes. You can't have any caffeine. Said you can't vape either. Huh?
Fuck that. I'd be vaping mid-surgery, bro. Just blowing smoke.
Like, why can't you have caffeine? That's like,
Because apparently it slows down digestion, but then he was like, it says you can't have no nicotine. I went, fuck you. I go, listen. I go, if I don't have the nicotine, I might as well just fucking not have the surgery then.
Do you reckon that's a direct effect to the caffeine? They say they don't want you to have that.
I think it slows down healing. That's why, and it makes your blood a little bit thinner.
And it can increase your blood flow as well because it's stimulant carb.
A cup of fucking coffee. Come on, you're not doing. You know, especially you're probably like taking like a gram of fucking caffeine across the day, having about 5 monsters, 7 coffees, and 2 scoops of pre-workout. You know what I mean?
70 milligrams of nicotine every puff.
Yeah. Realistically, one coffee ain't gonna fucking kill you.
Boys, I tell you what, going back to vape life, I was in South Africa and they got 7% nicotine vapes. Mate, I'll give you £100 if you could finish one of those in a week. Mate, you have a puff it, your head's all over the place. You're like, what the fuck is this? It's like you're doing balloons. It's mental.
Fuck that.
It's nasty.
You know what, though? I've been trying to quit. Like, I've been vaping a lot less recently.
I'm loyal to the sport, mate. I was just giving to a Bollinger shit at the gym.
No, but you know what you think about when it gets to the point when you're at the gym and you're like, right, I got to wrap up my workout so I can go and get a puff outside. That's when you know that it's bad.
That's me.
I've never heard that.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I've never been like that.
I'm still doing cardio post-workout, and I have a vape before I go do cardio.
Oh, that's why I'm like, I'd rather not do like my treadmill in the gym. I'd rather do it outside so I could vape. You know what I mean? It's like, so I'm like,
I put it on my will to be buried with like 2 14k vapes.
Right, do you reckon the question is?
let's do it.
Yeah. But I just want to say, just people out there who want to get gyno surgery, I put it off for a long time. Don't put it off. It's really not that bad. I'm a big bitch. I was scared as fuck, If you just get it done, man, it's just worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, gyno's
It's weird
the easiest surgery ever.
some people it changes like the shape of their pec like massively, and some people it doesn't really. There's a guy, he's a sick bodybuilder. He's an amateur. Elliot Durman. You've seen that guy? He's like a new Nick Walker. He's a miniature dude.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Oh, yeah.
But he had gyno surgery and it looked fucking terrible. Like you can see they pinched like the gland in when he tenses his pec. It's like there's a divot now. It looks even
You know
worse.
what?
But I think everyone's different.
Because if they don't do it right, then the nipple can like invert.
Is that because they cut the whole gland out when you're supposed to leave a little bit? Is
so
that right?
The nipple like concaves, like it goes in.
Yeah.
Lads, I'm just looking for 2 6.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, but just Ryan's gyno was quite big. His hasn't done that.
His didn't. This is not me being horrible. Ryan's didn't improve the shape of his pecs as much as I expected. Does that make sense? Like he's just got quite wide titties, which are a good thing.
But he's got big pecs anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what with Ryan? Because they did quite a lot of lipo. He was saying about like his chest was quite lean already. So he's like, when they've taken all that fat off of there now, which almost like it was like intramuscular fat or like whatever. So it almost looks like it's not intramuscular fat, but you know what I mean. It almost makes it look flatter. So he's like, that's the thing that I noticed about it now.
Yeah, I get it. I get that.
It's better than having 2 big like gyno lumps.
It was 100%. You know what though, with Brian, I noticed that sometimes as well. Like when I look at his pictures, I'm like, is there still a lump there? And I haven't asked.
No.
I think it's just the shape of his pec.
Nah. Let me show you, and you'll see what I mean.
But I think because what it is, the bigger your gyno is, the worse it's going to look. Do you understand when they take it out?
Yeah.
Because the bigger the incision's got to be.
In my head, I think after I get gyno surgery, I'll have tits like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and if I don't do that, I'll be disappointed. So I'm not doing it.
Right, look in. Right, let me actually. I might have to screenshot this because it's hard.
Yeah,
to...
you're on like 4 pixels like per minute or something. Mate.
Yeah. Like, look at this. The nipple.
Yeah.
Can you see? There's almost like a lump still there. Like, I need to ask him about.
Do you know what I think that is, Chuds? I think because his gyno was so big, when they've had to make an incision, it's had to be quite a big incision.
Oh, you reckon it's scar tissue?
Yeah, because with mine, they only cut my nipple half a moon.
Mine. But then again, Brian's always like stupidly lean, so that could be it. Like most of us don't, like our chests don't look like that.
Well,
the honest truth is, compared to 99% of the population, no one's going to realise, bro. It's just us that
No.
Oh, look at that.
Especially with me, because I'm used to seeing Ryan like compete year on year, and I've seen him throughout. I notice these little things. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it certainly looks a lot better than it did.
Oh, mate, it looks 100 times better. It looked fucking horrible before. It's so obvious.
He was really self-conscious about it as well, which makes it even worse, because when you're competing and you're like, oh, fucking hell, are people looking at my gyno?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the gyno is bad when you can see it in the front double. That's when you know.
That's when you know you got a problem.
Yeah. Because do you know how I clocked how I had a gyno? As a picture of me, Hilly, and Deck outside the two bros, yeah? And I'm looking down, and Deal's like, you ain't got gyno. I went, look at my nipple, you dickhead, yeah?
Hey, mate, don't talk about that, bro.
It's literally hanging.
See, I don't have it in front double.
Was that like post-show, just as soon as you competed?
No, that was a day. That was a day off the show.
Because you
on stage, you couldn't see nothing.
I was going to say, you know, when you have like a cheat meal sometimes, and you could see that like it has
this worse. Yeah, 100%.
From the attention of the performance making down.
Yeah,
for sure.
But ordinarily, you wouldn't notice it, but after if you've had like a binge or like a cheat, even like a heavy cheat meal
or a carb load, yeah.
Well, can you remember when Tom did his first season and he had the gyno that he had cut out?
Yeah.
You know, remember, I had to load him in a certain way. We could only make him so full.
Yeah.
Because every time we pushed the fullness, the gyno got way more noticeable. So what I was having to do is load him to a certain point. Yeah. As soon as it felt sensitive, stop there and dry out. So we could only ever time so full, because once he passed a certain point, the gyno was really obvious.
It also depends like how big your chest and how your chest is shaped. Like James Holland said, an example. Like nobody would have noticed he had gyno. Like his chest is so fucking big. Like his nipples are underneath it no matter what. But there are other people that obviously where it's very apparent that it's kind of worth getting cut out. You know.
Questions?
Questions?
Yes, questions.
Have we all got some?
Well, your pictures of the minute, you're looking lean, extra lean.
Who's this?
You.
Yeah, I'm fucking. The whole idea was to get very lean before I push up, and then I want to try and take my time pushing up, because I think I said this.
Leaner than you would do for like a push-up, for like a.
And my reasoning is, I was saying this before, when I looked at my previous sticking point, which is always around 247, 248, I always thought it was my digestion fucking me in my dodgy guts, but I'm the same body fat percentage in both times I've done it.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether it's a body fat set point or an insulin sensitivity set point that's actually stopping me. I just seem to get to a certain point and everything goes tits up. And it was off the back of doing the podcast on my puffed, and then I thought,
yeah, at the DHB.
Yeah. So my whole goal this year is, because I'm in Norwich program, was to get nice and lean, cruise, find my best cruise, do some fucking like that. Then with DHB while I was dieting, which was very successful. And then I've just brought the drugs in for the last 3 weeks till I'm going out Alicante this week, just to let the drugs recomp me even more. And then that puts me in a perfect place. And then I'm literally just going to aim for £4 a month, and I'm just going to grow till Christmas.
Yeah.
It's that there.
DHB, that DHB, mate. Fucking shout out Dan Bastic. I should have listened to him like years back when we were talking about it.
Legit, mate.
I should have fucking, because he was like bigging it up, and I was just like, yeah, I won't try it now. And I only literally just used it. Mind you, we're going back like 2-3 years ago when me and him were talking about it. It's like mental.
Yeah.
Hey, I've ran out of it, and I'm telling you now, the performance difference of it not being in is mental. Like, of all the anabolics, I can't think of a compound where I've dropped it out and noticed such a difference in, like, just like get up and go in the gym, or like just being able to move through weight, you know?
The best thing about it is you don't have to take tons of it. 200 mil, like 2 mil, compared to having to take like 600, 800 primo.
I haven't took more than 150 mg yet at all. I tell you what, I've been discussing with Dan, because Dan Bastic's got more experience with it than me at the moment. This first 4 weeks, I've put in 400 test, 200 primo, 300 mass. I put 100 mg of tren in, I decided, with 150 mg of DHB, right? And something I've noticed is I seem to have got sides from tren that I normally wouldn't get till 300 or 400 mg at 100 mg, and I've gotten them quicker. So what I was firing with Dan is has he noticed before that it seems to make other drugs more effective? Because I've literally been on 100 mg of tren, and my sleep went to shit quicker. I got acid where I would never normally at that dose, and I seem to be more The mental trigger for me with Tren is I become more impatient. I don't get angry, I don't get short-tempered, I become impatient. And I noticed everything I normally would from 300 or 400 meg on 100. Now, Dan's not sure whether he's experienced that before, but he said he's also never thought about it because of the way when he's run it. There's been that much else going on. Whereas I've been in quite a unique situation where I brought them all in at the same time. They've all been in lower doses. Total mega doses, like a gram, 1100. But I seem to be feeling it some more. And I don't
but here, as you get older and you keep using Tren, I know Dave Crossan talks about it in a podcast. You'll be fine with it for second year, third year, fourth year, 10th year. The 1 year you take it and it just doesn't behave the same.
But DHB does have that neurological effect as well, though, doesn't it? That kind of aggression, the slappiness, kind of, it does have the similar effects to Tren or
compounding, I reckon.
Yeah, you can't find enough science on the drug to really.
It doesn't exist, mate. It's only Americans just running stupid news.
You can't find any really science with it. But AJ had me on 500 meg Tren. He went to me on 600 meg last year. Yeah. And I'm noticing the sides quicker and almost just as apparent on 100 meg than I was on 500 meg.
Maybe the Tren was fake then.
Maybe.
Well, maybe the DHB is Tren.
Yeah. I didn't. I'm not sure whether he has noticed it before, so it'll be interesting.
What lab is your DHB?
Raw. Same one I used at the start of the year. So it's definitely.
I use the future one, and that's bang on. That's banging. That is so good. Like no pip, so good.
Medtech is as well, whereas it's pipless. Like you feel it at all.
Yeah.
I've got to give a shout out to Quanta. Yeah. I'll be first person to bash them, but their DHB, I ordered it off their take app. It's fantastic. It doesn't crash and it sits very, very smooth. So yeah, nice little plug for them.
I've got some of theirs to switch to as well. My raw ones.
Yeah. Give credit where it's due.
Yeah, always. Right, questions then? Who's got questions?
You got all the questions.
I've got loads of questions. Right, first one. Hang on. Touching on the impact of overeating on free meals, cheat meals in digestion.
Oh, a colossal of negative cascades from this point.
What do you mean? Say that again.
So if you've got a free meal and you end up binging and overeating all the shit, what's the negative impacts for us?
Fluid retention.
Obviously, if you binge, then your digestion is going to be fucked for like a couple.
Well, it depends.
It depends. It's not even a question. It's just a statement.
Do you know it's funny?
What do you categorise as a binge?
Well, it doesn't matter. Don't overcomplicate it. For me, I think some people can eat loads of shit, some people can't. But even if you can get away with eating loads of shit, if you're in an off season and you end up going OTT on your free meal to the point where you're bloated, you feel a bit shitty.
Right, anyway, in the off season, who wants to go mental on an off plan? Like
people don't go with the
binge. For me, anyway, anytime I've binged, it's been on a diet.
I haven't been on a diet, you know. I'd be too scared to.
I wouldn't say if you're like cutting down for like a holiday or
the whole fucking thing, you know. I'm that guy. Like, whatever's on that plate, I'm finishing. If I order a burger, pizza, and chips, I'm finishing every bit of that.
I think if you
get ice cream after that, and then you get another dessert, and you know.
I didn't do that.
It's like Johnny says, it's an obvious one. If you're overeating to the point where you're gassy as fuck, you bloat to death, it affects your sleep, it is going to impact your ability to recover, your ability to perform, and your ability to digest food for the following days.
There is something to this as well, actually.
I was going to say, like, I think let's say if you eat something that doesn't normally agree with you, or if you're not used to eating something like dairy or something like that, right, you will bloat. That's fine for that evening, say. But I think if you wake up the next morning and you're not hungry, that's when you know you fucked up.
I agree. I use a friend of mine, Quinn, because he's a big fat bastard as well. I always say,
"You fat bastard."
I was like, "Did you fuck it the next day?" So that's when I know he'll say, "Yeah, I ate too much. I wasn't hungry." Meal one. But it's really interesting what Hilly just said then, because obviously a buzzword is digestion at the moment, and people have such a mad misunderstanding of it. I've got a client called Dom, lovely kid. He comes from like an IFIT picture macro background, crash diet, and all this sort of stuff, and we've made fantastic progress. However, he would consistently moan or find problems with his digestion, all this sort of stuff. I then started getting him to tell me what he was eating on his off-plan meals, and they were mental. It was like a burger, 6 wings, some chips, his kid's cake, packet of crisps, and all this sort of stuff. Now, what he was saying to me though, and he would die on this sword, was that they were improving his digestion. And I said, what are you fucking talking about? How are they improving your digestion? And this is where he was getting confused. He thought if he was getting up in the morning having a massive shit, a huge bowel movement, that meant his digestion was very good. And that is just absolute utter nonsense. Your body is literally getting rid of the waste that it can't metabolize or doesn't want to use, so you have a big shit. We then dropped these cheat meals out, or I controlled them and kind of told him what to get, like a Five Guys burger and fries. And his physique has come on tenfold. He's dieting better. He has no digestion problems. Because what he was doing, he was going, oh, it's the bread. Oh, it's the rice. It's the whey protein. It's all this sort of stuff. I'm like, mate, it's your fucking stupid cheat meals you're having every weekend. And once we dropped them out, he then kind of understood that there's a big difference between having a good digestion and having a massive shit in the morning because you've eaten some terrible food the night before. They're not the same thing. Just because you have a big poo doesn't mean your digestion is very good.
I think people fuck it up because you tell them to have a cheat meal, and I will say to all of my guys, I hear you say to me, listen, get starters, mains, and a dessert, and then wrap it up and go to bed, yeah? But some people, they will take that as if, oh, that means have a big starter, have a massive mains, a massive dessert. But when I say dessert, I'm talking like a cheesecake slice. They'll have the whole fucking cheesecake. They're like, oh, what can I have? I'll have some biscuits. Oh, fuck it, I'll have about 10 chocolates. And then they get fucked.
Or I tell you what as well, some people, meaning me, what I used to do is, let's say you were like, right, tonight I'm having an off-plan meal. But I'm like, I'm going to go big on my off-plan meal, so I'm not going to eat barely anything throughout the day.
Worst thing you can do.
And then you just go fucking all out.
Yeah, that's terrible, especially in the off-season as well. And what people don't understand is those empty calories or those shitty calories that are nutrient dense, they don't replace the good food. Like, I would always make sure I get all of my meals in first and then what I eat is on top. And even me, with what was going on the past few months, I was kind of doing that, Chud. And it ruins your performance in the gym because that shitty food cannot make up for the clean carbohydrates, good glycogen being stored, fluid, a decent amount of sodium. Your performance will just drop off. Yes, you might have a bit of vascularity and a decent pump, but your performance will just dip consistently.
Oh, yeah, you work out shit the next day.
Yeah.
And there's the mental side of it as well. You wake up, you feel as if you're a bit like you're hungover, you've got a carb coma, you're a bit gassy, you feel a bit sluggish, your blood pressure's spiked, you're holding water, you look in the mirror, you look shit, your mood dips. It can have a cascade of, it doesn't have to just be on your digestion, but your mood, your blood pressure, how you're in the gym. There's so many downsides to doing it. And I think what people forget as well is you can get away with things a lot more when you're dieting, because your stomach's emptier in general, so you're ripping through the food more. Whereas actually, if you're in the off season and you're trying to push food, I think it's actually, you can get away with a bit more drunk when you're dieting, and you really need to be a bit clean and a bit more sensible in the off season. It is actually the way to do it, but people think the other way around.
But I think it depends how active you are as well. Like, I will have a big free meal, but I know I'm doing like 18k steps a day. I'm doing my half an hour cardio in the morning. I don't want to take Turbo for a walk. So my outputs are a lot higher. But there's some people, they have a big free meal, then they're sitting at the desk next day at work.
Yeah, exactly.
For 7 hours.
Is this like this? Have you seen this new like buzz videos going around with the influencers or the retarded nutritionists or the people who can't coach people that coach? You know, there's this new video that's going around saying that you have to eat something like 7,000 calories over your basal metabolic rate to gain 2 kilos of fat or something like that. You see, it's constantly being like
3,500 calories to gain a pound of fat.
It's just utter bullshit. And going back to what we said about the negative cascades of, if you do that once, your blood glucose spikes, your digestion shit, you're going to be less active, you're going to continue eating the next day. Like, that's what causes you to get fat. If that was actually the case and it was as simple as that, nobody would be fat. Yeah. Nobody would.
What I find I've got a very, very big appetite when it comes to eating shit because I'm a fat bastard, yeah? What's worked really well for me the past year is I will eat all 6 meals and I'll then say to D after half an hour after the 6th meal, right, let's go get food now. Yeah. Because by that time I'm so fucked, I go out and just get a chicken kebab and some rice and I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Right, I go home and I go to bed.
Yeah.
Next one, which is an interesting one, it's a good one. Learning to know when you're full.
This is such a hard one because I find this the hardest with female clients. Like, it's so difficult to like get them to understand. But I think for the majority, if they are full in terms of glycogen, full, if that's what you're talking about, I think it's very visible in weaker body parts. Like obviously where the skin is taut, there's not much fluid retention. So take myself as an example. I've got very weak midsection abs. When I'm full, my abs are blocky and thick. The second I flatten off even a touch, they just become very shallow. They're not pressed against the skin. You don't get the lines and dips. And I think it's an experience thing. You need to learn your own body to understand when that is, but also like how you're pumped. Like how are they continuing? Are they dropping off halfway through the session? Another one could be your DOMs in recovery. Like, are you stupidly sore? Then potentially you don't have enough glycogen to be full to recover.
Are we talking full about bodybuilding show full?
I don't know.
I thought full meaning like eating full because we're talking about digestion, aren't we? So I thought he's talking
Good
about
point.
when are you full?
I misunderstood it.
Always, yeah. The question's very accurate. It just says learning to know when you're full.
But wouldn't you think you'd have to be a bit of a retard not to know that? But the difficult one would be when you're glycogen full.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. So Dex covered the glycogen full. I would actually say that if you've eaten to the point where you think you're full, you've pushed it too far.
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah.
Because for most people, you would think, well, I'm full if I'm a bit bloated in the stomach, if I feel a bit tired, if I can't look at the food. I think if you're looking at food and you're like, I can't put any more away, feel sick, or my stomach's really full, I think you've pushed it too far. Fullness, and it's almost impossible I think, to judge when you're actually full because it's person dependent, and it's how hungry you were first. Because if you're deep in a prep, you could probably eat a fucking horse of a cow and probably not feel full.
Yeah.
For me, it's usually when I'm not bothered about food. I don't know, it's almost impossible.
I know my difficult one is, if I get up off that sofa and it takes me a little bit longer, I'm like, oh, and I waddle to the toilet. That's when I know I fucked it. That's for me. If I get up on the sofa and it's a bit
well that people eat like, because we're used to eating so quickly, at least I do anyway. I'm like, so I think sometimes like taking a little bit longer, and then sometimes I'm like, you know, I notice that when I go hypo. So like say I've taken like I've gone hypo post workout. I come back, I eat my meal, and I'm like I'm still fucking starving. But I'm like, wait, hold on, sit down, look at my phone, take a few, and I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I think you know you're too full because after every cheat meal I will look in the mirror and I can normally see my abs. If I can't see them and there's a massive water fucking line, I'm like, yo, man has fucked it.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Then I take 10 peak max and I go to bed and wake up peeled.
Wake up peeled in the morning.
Look, honestly, after every single free meal, I can always see my abs properly. When I'm not, they just look like shit if I overeat.
I suppose a good one would be if you can't suck your stomach and you're eating too much.
Yep.
Because
I think...
Yeah, sorry, go on, Liz, go on.
I think another one is, when you're so fucking full, the thought of even drinking water or Coke, it makes you feel a bit gaggy in that.
Yeah.
Because I can't drink anything.
She can't even look at a drink, let alone sip a fizzy drink or a water when she's
I won't sip anything, bro.
It's my thing for a while now has been, really you want to try and never feel full. You want to always be trying to maintain some form of hunger.
Yeah.
Or some form of like, do you know what it is? I've eaten what I need, I'm good. Because then you're going to be able to eat again when you need to. Yeah. Whereas if you push a food, and again it comes back to the free meal, if you've pushed the food so hard, where you can't get off the couch, where you're bloated, where you're wobbling about, where you can't eat another slice of pizza, you know you're going to be feeling that 12, 24 hours later.
Big facts. Yeah, I think it all goes back to, I think Chad said it, is you just need to be hungry for meal one. If you're not hungry for meal one, you fucked it.
Yeah, that's a great thing for me. Another one, in your lad's opinion, what's the number one misconception when it comes to digestion?
That you can take a fucking digestive product and fix yourself.
Yeah, you could digestive enzymes fix everything, which I think it's just a general understanding of what digestion is. Like it's digestion in general, like being able to metabolize food, pass food, bowel movements, all this sort of stuff. It's such a massive subject. I think people just think I eat food, I don't have belly pain, my digestion is great, which is categorically not the case. It's how your body assimilates the food. We've seen lots of bodybuilders in the industry. They kind of take Hunter Lebrad as an example. He did that massive allergy testing and he stopped drinking shakes like a fucking child and lived off Rice Krispies. He's now £300 on 2,000 less calories because he worked out his digestion problems, because a lot of them can come from allergies which create inflammation in the stomach lining, which stops your body processing and digesting that food. But then when you do that, you will grow exponentially because your body's using it. It's like a vacuum. It wants to pull those nutrients. It can use them.
I think also a lot of people focus on the wrong things. Like the most basic thing that's just common sense to me is chewing your fucking food.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So if you're like,
I haven't worked it out yet, admittedly, though. I still swallow food.
yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
But I can, like, it just makes sense that I'm like, but that's because I don't have digestion issues.
Yeah.
But to people that
I think a lot of people don't realise, that a lot of the food, digestion-wise, comes down to inflammation, You can feel absolutely mega. Because I sent Hilly these pictures where on the same calories, but I'm eating gluten on the left, and then on the right I have 14 days no gluten, on the same calories. I look at the difference in my physique here. Look, that was me eating all the gluten.
Yeah, that's the difference.
And that is 14 days later, bruv. And my physique's come in, my weight's gone up, my performance has gone up. I think digestion and performance are hand in hand as well.
I agree.
We talked about this on our last podcast, didn't we? When we said about the rice and then the bagels, and it's like, as much as it's easier to eat the bagels, it's not the same as eating the rice.
Don't give you this fiber as well. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Rice and potato supersede everything in terms of like your body holding on to that glycogen, that fullness. It's just a better source of carbohydrates. It releases better energy.
It's the only rice and potato are probably the only carbohydrates which are eaten in every single country, in every single religion, culture around the fucking world.
You always got to make about racist.
You've got to make it, bro. Fit the algorithm.
For me, the biggest misconception is just because you don't think you're bloated, and just because you don't think you have bad guts and you feel fine, that your digestion doesn't need improving or it's fine. Because on all of my plans, on everybody, I put certain basic things in that will naturally improve digestion. And I'll have clients be like, well, I go to the toilet every day and I'm not bloated, so I don't need them because my digestion's fine. And just because you don't have the most common things, your digestion might be okay. But as Deck said, everything that we do and everything outside of what we do, everything in life, we relies on your body to be able to digest and assimilate its food optimally or as effectively as possible. So even if your digestion is okay, we should all be trying to make our digestive system better. We always I'm huge on the term optimal because I just think it suits everything we do.
I agree.
Even if you don't feel bloated, if you go to the toilet every day, your digestion will be okay. But that doesn't mean it's as good as it can be. And if you can't function without your body being able to digest and utilize the food, if you can't make the most amount of gains, talking about Hunter, if you can't perform the best in the gym without digesting all of this food, then your goal should really be to focus on maximizing, optimizing, whatever clever ass word you want to use, your digestion. So for me, I think the biggest misconception is just because you don't have the common three, bad farts, not going to the toilet and go to the runs or whatnot, your digestion's fine when it's not. I think everybody should be trying to make their digestion better by thinking, and the key things that I look at are, yes, regular bowel movements. Yes, do you have a lot of distension at certain times of the day? But also, how do you feel when you wake up? Do you have brain fog? Do you wake up with quite decent energy? A big one for Deck and for most people should be, what are your pumps like in the gym? And then, what is your recovery like? What is your sleep like? Because improving your digestion will impact everything. So for me, that's the biggest misconception. People thinking, oh, well, I sit every day fine, I don't have loads of bad gas. And the other thing is, it is not the term protein farts. Protein farts are not normal, right? I've got the most sensitive digestion on the planet. AJ had me eating 450 grams of protein a day for an extended period of time. And I did not have terrible farts, I did not have terrible shits. If just because you're having some protein powder and you've upped your protein, if you're having nasty awful farts, that is because you are not digesting something that you're eating, so you're wasting whatever you're eating, in my opinion, or at least 50% of it.
I agree, yeah.
So the other big misconception is it's normal to have protein farts because you're using a protein powder or you're eating a lot of protein. It's not. If you have terrible gas, there is a problem that needs rectifying.
The one that kills me is when people say, oh, bro, I take loads of shit, but my metabolism must be quick. I eat and I just shit it out. I was like, what? So you're telling me put something in your mouth, and it comes out your ass in 2 hours. You fucking cocksuckers, yeah?
That's a really good point, Riz. Like that I was just gonna say that is just because you can eat, don't mean you should eat. Like me, like I've got an empty stomach, mate. Like I'll always be able to eat, but that doesn't mean my digestion is good or optimal in any way, shape, or form. It just means I'm a fat cunt. It's not the same thing.
But no, but our movement speed doesn't indicate if you've got fast metabolism or not.
Not any way, shape, or form.
If anything, if you move too much, that means your body's a bit fucked.
Yeah. I mean, you get that, don't you? Is people like to demonize gluten or bread or all this sort of stuff when they're not even willing to like do the bare basics, like Chud said, chew food, drink your fluids, eat at the same meal time of day, get steps in between, all this sort of stuff. It's instantly like, oh, I'm gluten intolerant, I can't eat pasta and all this sort of stuff.
Bro,
women are a nightmare for it.
I have literally had people message me that I know, oh, bro, I'm going to buy your BPC because I've got a gut issue. I goes, bro, why don't you send me your diet first? Oh, no, my diet's out. I goes, bro, send me your diet and everything, tortilla wraps. I goes, bro, why didn't you pull them out first? I'd love to make money off you, mate. I'll sell you something, but they're not going to help. Oh, no, I'll just buy the BPC. And I'm like, all right, mate, just carry on, bro.
Wrap to the one thing I don't put in any client plan, or I eat myself. I don't know why. I just don't like, they don't make me feel good. I don't feel like I get the energy from them or the fullness from them. I just feel like they're a really shitty carb source.
As a general rule of thumb, I try to limit bread in a client's plan to once a day. So they'll either have an option for breakfast with maybe a bagel or some white bread, and then the rest will be rice or potato or stuff. Because from what I've seen, and Riz's pictures are a fine example of it, most people are fine with bread, but there is no doubt about it. If you're eating bread 2 or 3 times of the day, your physique will look worse for it. You will look bloated and you will look watery. And like I say, I've been doing this longer than most people, and I have categorically seen with everybody, even if they felt good and their digestion is fine, when we've pulled bread out completely, they look a little bit tight in the midsection, a little bit dry overall, and they do feel better. Yep. So even a lifestyle client that's on just a normal everyday plan, I will, and they'll always come back with, well, can I not switch that rice to bagels or wraps or pits because it's easy? And I'm like, no. I'm like, if you want to have oats in the morning or cream of rice, then you can have a wrap or something during the day. But I really want, and the people that don't, they always seem to look a bit, they always, not seem, they always look worse for it. They always end up running into issues with digestion and whatnot.
I find potatoes are the most satiating of carb sources, but also the best digestive for me. And I don't eat it because it is a pain in the ass at times to like potatoes, or like I'll even mash potatoes. I'm happy with that. It's just
you can get these potatoes. They're like peeled potatoes in Asda's in packs, and well, you put that in the microwave for like 6 minutes, and it's done.
Mate,
I need to have it air fried, bro.
I shop at that like Iceland shop now. You know, it's got like their big warehouse.
Yeah, the big
shop.
warehouse.
I run all day. Love that fucking place. But they've got like a Slimming World section. They got Slimming World frozen chips. There's 2 ingredients. It's potato and starch, I think, added, but there's no added fats, nothing. They're just frozen chip potatoes. You can just take them out, defrost them, and chuck them in the air fryer.
Yeah,
there's nothing else added.
Yeah, you can air fry. You can put I think it just takes a little bit longer. It probably takes like 20 minutes to put a potato in the air fryer.
What I do is I buy do you know they do the little baby potatoes?
Yeah,
the skin. The skin's really, really thin.
Yeah.
I just chop them in half, weigh them out quick, wash them, and the skin comes off as you wash them.
Yeah.
I chuck them in the air fryer, and they're quick.
I like them.
I like them packs of potatoes, the ones that are like microwave packs. Yeah, they've got a bit of butter on them on that, but like where?
Oh, I know what you're on about. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Herbie potatoes or whatever. Like, yeah,
I get it.
They've got a bit of butter on them, but like, who cares? You know, as long as it's consistent.
Yeah.
I put the butter out anyway. I just open the pot, pull the butter out, and make it.
Yeah.
Next one. Condiments, spices, or foods that you find working well for most people.
What was that?
Condiments, spices, or foods that you work well for most people. Well, we do work. So just do condiments and spices. We've covered food. It's all you know. Everybody.
Well, the ones that aren't that people literally take the piss with.
Riz is going to be a mad one.
Let me get my list up for my.
He gets spicy out.
Garlic salt, onion salt. I think there's some of the worst.
I think garlic is a big no-no. Onion for some people fucks them up. Because I used to use garlic powder, onion powder, all of that shit. Yeah. But now all I use is paprika, turmeric, ginger, and pepper.
Hey,
that's all I use.
I'm garlic powder, I'm onion salt, pepper, Cut a bit of chili and I'm done.
I tell you what, big. It's a couple of big things for me, and I've harped on about this. When we look at a condiment, when you're looking at spices, look at the ingredients. Make sure salt is not the first ingredient. So if you look at a mixed spice by FDA guidelines or whatever, the ingredients have to be in order with the most to the least. So if you look at, say, barbecue seasoning and it's got salt, that means that salt is the most of the mixture of ingredients. And I see, I've whinged about on Instagram, particularly with clients in prep, because they're trying to make the food more enjoyable, more palatable. They'll start fishing for like funky fucking spice mixes. And it happened to me a long time ago when I was working with Scott Stevenson. I bought Asian spice mix from Macro. It was on all my chicken, it was in the rice. And my weight jumped like £3. And I kid you not, I must have had a breakdown over 48 hours trying to find why my weight.
I don't use any of them mixes. I just have the individual powders.
It was the last thing. I must have been adding grams of salt, and it only happens at least once or twice a year. So Alan did it this year. 10 days from the show, he's mooching about, and he's picked up this posh spice mix, and his weight was up 4 or 5 pounds, and I'm talking a good 5 pound of water. I could see him sweating, and I threw everything with him. And luckily, because I did this to myself 10 years ago, and I've seen loads of clients do it, it was one of my first questions. What have you changed with your spices? Nothing. I'm like, go and look in your fucking spice cupboard. And just thought, and it's not something you'll think about, but in the off season, it'll spike your blood pressure because you're holding 3 or 4 pounds. In prep, it'll completely fuck you up. One of the main things to avoid, apart from that, like we says, most spice mixes, I don't really come across much spices that cause people issues, apart from stuff that's really hot. But something to avoid. And the only thing in sauces for me, the worst thing is the calorie-free sauces.
100%.
Because they are all made with either, is it oxalitol, maltol, whatever it is, they're all made with fibre thickeners, and they'll bloat you like shit, they'll constipate you, and they'll make you gassy as hell.
You'll be fighting for days. That is a big fact.
And I see it over and over again. As clients get through prep, they're looking for funky sauces, and I've done it. I remember at one point having this pancake syrup from Walden's Farms or somewhere. Man's drinking it out the bottle, having for something sweet, and my stomach was in bits. But even the skinny syrups, the skinny sauces, they've got nothing in them. So the reason that they're thick is because of the fibre powders that added in it, and it fucks your stomach. So I always go, ketchup's my main one, stupid, is the reduced sugar one and the usual. Because proper Heinz ketchup's actually gluten-free as well. Yeah, so it's a safe option, it's gluten-free, you can get it everywhere, there's barely any calories in it, and what I'll do is, personally, I always use the reduced sugar one. As I get to the last 2 weeks before show, I go to the added sugar one because it goes from 60 calories per 100 ml to 30 calories per 100 ml. But yeah, just that's my 2 big ones.
What I find a really good tool is get the hottest sauce you possibly can, because most of the Encona sauces are about 10 calories per 100 ml, yeah? But you only need to use that much, yeah? So you're using like half a calorie per meal, and it changes the whole meal.
But you're not... People need to realise you're not supposed to use those sauces like a dress or like a squirty sauce. The reason they come in those little dropper bottles is because you're supposed to take a fucking drop of them. Like they're that strong and they're that spicy.
What people need to realise as well is, if you're going to use all these sauces, and Nando sauce, which is shit anyway, if you're going to use all these sauces, just go to Asda and buy the fajita sauce, which comes in a fucking jar. It's 43 calories per 100 fucking mil,
And the pasta sauces are exactly the same.
Just use 100 mil of that, and it'll actually make your food taste banging.
The other thing
as well. One is like mustard, and it's like mustard. I think when you start to use a lot of it, because like you might start using it on every single meal, that's gonna fuck your stomach up.
Yeah,
I've never ate mustard my whole life.
I'm not a mustard fan.
Oh, bro, I love a bit of English mustard on a bit of roast beef meat, kid. I'm about that life.
Sam put a question. Sam Mead would love to hear your thoughts on my question I sent to Riz last week on vegetables. Remember?
Yeah, I sent it in the group chat.
Just low FODMAP veg. Just stick to that, and you'll win.
Yeah, that's
hold on.
Also, just going back to the spices thing, those mixes, be very cautious of the sugar content in them. The packet mixes, they have a stupid amount of carbohydrates and sugar in.
And dextrose.
Yeah.
I
Right.
found it good, lad.
Question from Samid. I notice loads less bloat when I eat no green vegetables. Instead, stick to the fruit of vegetables like peppers. Fruit or vegetables like peppers, I'm assuming what he means.
Yeah.
That said, I have seen some studies suggest that things inside those green vegetables aid protein digestion and anecdotally make you look fuller. Wondering what anyone's thoughts are. I agree, mate. I like to have a bit of veg in all of my meals. It keeps me fuller. As in muscle fuller.
Nah, not me, bro.
I'm the worst for veg. I can't. I probably eat veg like once a week.
It's
Half
like
I'm
anecdotal.
in my fucking Five Guys burger.
I don't care if there's science to support it, but I'm telling you now, green veg slows my digestion down. It absolutely does.
But
I will
what green veg are you talking though?
broccoli, anything like that.
I
Broccoli,
don't have any of that dirty shit.
green beans.
I only have bird's eye, to be specific, green peas and sweet corn.
Well, that's child's food, you fucking idiot.
Listen, you prick. They're £2.70 a pack. I'm winning in life.
I
Yeah?
don't mean it's not child's food, mate. Kids cost a
Listen.
lot of money.
D went and bought the
This is like Hilly's clone.
Audi mixed veg. I dashed them in the bin.
This is like Hilly's clan. I can't remember who was nailing fucking tins of mushy peas for banter and wonder why they're
No,
digesting my shit.
listen to me, bro.
It's bigger than if you please. Please and fucking bring it on. Get that shit out.
Do you remember that time? Do you remember that time in prep Riz when D got you the wrong peas and he just flipped?
Yeah, bro. Listen.
It was like the sugar snap.
Yeah.
Oh, listen. That one pissed me off, bro. Imagine, yeah. I've gone to D. Yo, she buys them little packs. You know, it's like a bit of what's that other broccoli called? The tender stem, the nice stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like those.
Tender stem, the little sweet corns, which is shit.
It's like a
And you get
three-pack. Yeah.
Yeah, you get a 3-pack. She made me that, and she goes, "Oh, you can have these little pea pod things." I was like, "What the fuck are they?" I was like, these are banging. They went to my dad. My dad goes, "Oh, I've got some of these." He goes, "Oh, they're sugar snaps." I went, "Oh, they're about that fucking big." Brought them home, cooked them up, put them in my food. I chopped them all up as well. There's fucking beans inside the fucking thing, but they were like red beans. I'm eating this motherfucker, and I've gone to, "Why the fuck have you bought these for?" Yeah. She goes, "Oh, I thought they were sugar snaps." I go, "These are fucking something else." I said to him, "I go, I fucking stopped eating. I had to make it all again." So I had one meal.
I always stick to mushrooms, and if I'm getting really hungry, I'll use the bean sprouts. You know, they come in a packet. There's like fuck all calories, and they give a bit of crunch. That's the only thing I do from a satiety standpoint.
I tell you what's good, cucumber. Cucumber's always good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, I don't know if
Cucumber or salt.
cucumber repeats on me badly.
Yeah.
You need to remove the skin, bro.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah.
It's quite common that. Going back to Sam's question, I think what it is Sam eats a lot of food, right? And I think for some people, if they eat a lot of food, they will need to reduce their fibre and veg intake to digest it, such as me. Where I think for other people, if you're on a lot of food, you will, and this is the normal people, you will need more veg to help digest and process and move your food, particularly more soluble and insoluble fibre. And it goes back to what I was saying before. This just comes down to your particular body and how your digestive system works. And naturally, we all eat more protein, so it can make us constipated and have drier stools, so we'll need more soluble fibre. Whereas for some people, if when they eat a lot of food, they're going to need potentially more insoluble fibre, so there's more roughage to push it through. It's just about finding, if you're eating a certain amount of veg and it's causing you problems, try less, try more. Some people just need more fibre, some people need less fibre, and it's fine. Like for me, I have a slow digestive transit system, so my food takes longer to push through. So me adding veg to my meals, any veg, makes it worse. So I really need more soluble fibre to pull more fluid into my intestines, soften my stools on a daily basis. I've got some clients where we need to have husk in their diet all of the time and veg all of the time to keep them running smoothly and like clockwork. It's just so individual, it really is.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have carrot anymore in my mixed veg, hence I buy the bird's eye sweet corn peas mixture. But when I've been having that, I don't have no stomach problems at all. I can't have broccoli, I can't have
I bet
spinach.
you buy those little microwave packs, don't you, with the square carrots in and the sweet corn.
No, but actually what I do is I buy the sweet corn and pea mixture and I put it on my pan. And I make it on my pan and I put a bit of a fajita sauce in it.
There's a fair few calories in sweet corn, though, isn't it? That's why we stayed away from it. It's quite calorie dense compared to most veg.
And
Yeah.
you don't digest it like
You shit it
Yeah,
out.
If you don't digest it, that means the calories you don't consume, mate. So a win-win.
I've got 3 questions and I think we've touched on it before, but the effect that stress can have on people's digestive systems.
Don't even get me started on it, bro.
Yeah, so because I've worked with so many people to focus on their digestion being an area of mine. For some people, stress just fucks them up badly. I'm working with I've got a couple of clients at the moment I'm working with that suffer really badly. Well, one is a very good coach, one is, and I've worked for a while, a doctor, and the other one is just a guy in America that really suffers. But no matter what these 3 people do, when they come to have either a stressful couple of days at work, like working on A&E, back-to-back shifts, when they have clients compete at the weekend, they are very, very stressed with the result of what they're doing. And this guy in America, 2 of them, when they come up to extremely stressful situations, they both just have the runs.
Yep.
And it doesn't seem to be, it doesn't matter. And there was a girl at my university a long time ago suffered with this. And for some people, it's just going to be like, I have not found a fix. Some people, if you tend to have a sensitive digestive system, when you become stressed, whatever the issue is becomes heightened 100 times. The other guy in America, as soon as he's stressed, he stops going to the toilet. And this one on 7 or 8 days. It's like myself, and I've got a funky digestive system. I can be fine all week. As soon as I travel, whether it's driving to a show 3 or 4 hours away, whether it's flying to Spain, I will not go, and it doesn't matter if I keep my meals exactly the same, if I keep my fluid exactly the same. I can go to the ends of the earth, but for 24 to 48 hours, I will not go to the toilet. 2 of the clients I'm on about, doesn't matter how good they try and be or what they do, they will have the runs for that period of stress. And it just doesn't, I haven't been able to find a fix apart from working on being less stressed.
That's what I was going to say. The fix for that is managing the stress, isn't it? That's
and as stupid as that sounds, it is the logical answer, but it's also almost...
I know, but that's a classic shot in it for me.
Yeah, everybody sort of froze there for me. Everybody froze there for me. It doesn't seem to matter what it is, you need to be the sort of working on time management, working on reducing the causes of the stress. Whether you've got a fucking medical, whether you need to pre-pack your weekend better, you need to time manage better, but the fix is reducing your stress, unfortunately.
I think some people, they overstress here, and they don't see the good things in life, and they then let's just say you've got to do something in your job, they will stress about doing that. Just go do it and get it done with.
Yeah, I have a very stressful life, but I think the thing is making sure you understand that the diet and the training side of it, that's the consistent of your life. Does that make sense? That's the variables you can control. Work is always going to be volatile, especially like a doctor and all that sort of stuff. But what you can keep is that consistent of this is when my meals are. No matter what happens, is when my meals are. I pre-pack my meals. I'm training at this time. I'm doing cardio at this time. As long as you're ahead of that, I think you can mitigate or manage the stress which is caused by the job, because it's like a cascade, isn't it? It's like something's come up in a meeting, so I'm going to miss that meal, which means I'm 2 hours behind, which means my training session is going to be shit. Then I'm going to be really depressed because I'm not making any gains. I'm going to look in the mirror next day and feel shit and flat. It's being able to make sure you can keep that consistent of the stuff that makes you feel good over the stuff that makes you feel stressed. You know?
I think people overthink it, because it's like, I'm not being funny, but let's say if you're not on this diet, but you're just like a regular fucking person, but would you get the shits then? Probably not.
Yep.
Because you're overthinking the fact that, I'm going to miss my fucking meal. Just shut the fuck up.
Most people causing themselves the stress.
Yep.
But that's what I mean. It's like, it's because, again, it's self-induced.
Yeah, self-induced stress. Because stress does impact a lot of people's digestive issues. If you speak to some high-flying businessmen or mums that have a lot going on in the work, and most of these people have digestive issues, and actually it's not what, and they think it's food-related, and it was just their stressful life. And once they they think that it's because they've gone on a plan and it's because they started exercising, well, actually, it's probably because they brought things into play that reduce stress, like organising the day better. You know, they think it's the meal plan they've started. Well, actually, they've got themselves up early and they've planned the day to get the meals in. And guess what? They're less stressed. Or they've started giving themselves time to exercise. Exercise has reduced their stress. They've got up early to do cardio. They've had more time. A lot of things that actually we do in terms of living our lifestyle, being more organised, reduces stress in its fucking self. And a lot of the time that can be things that people don't realise.
Do you find with clients it's the digestion side of it is always the biggest noticeable effect straight away, like 1, 2, 3 weeks, because they'll come to you saying, I've got fantastic digestion. Then you put the supplements in, you get them on a eating plan consistently, they're training well, output's great. Every single check, my digestion's never been better. I'm shitting at the same time every day. I feel fantastic. My stomach's less bloated. I'm losing weight. It's always the first change that I notice for my clients all the time.
Yeah, yeah. The reason for sulfur eggy burps, acid reflux, and the ways to address it.
What was that?
What's that again?
Reasons for sulfur style burps, eggy burps.
Oh.
Yeah, but stop eating food that's causing it, bruv.
Well, for this guy in particular is a client of mine, and I actually find that I think the instance he's talking about, it tends to be some of the drugs you're using.
Correct.
Sometimes with the drugs we're using, it can, particularly things like Tren, or higher dose Primo, it's, from my understanding and experience, it's the drugs that skew the way that the acid is being produced in your body. And when there's either not enough acid or too much acid, it throws off your digestion and it causes bad burps for people or bad gas.
I find that I get it, or it gets worse, or it exacerbates when I'm getting lean and I'm hungry. If I'm satiated and my stomach's full, I don't get it from Tren. But as I get to the tail end of prep, obviously your stomach's empty, acid's gurgling to a degree. Yeah, it's just horrible.
Yeah, your stomach's empty, and your brain got more acid because you're having food coming in, and it's throwing that acid balance off, which is then throwing your digestion off.
We've spoken about this a few times on the podcast as well. Drinking with your food, I think that's a big one. That's a big one.
The digestive process.
Especially a lot of people sugar-free Pepsi or something compared to water.
A lot of people, they get burps and stuff when they have low quality omegas, CLA, and these sort of supplements, because when it's omegas, a lot of it's shit quality eBay brand. Yeah.
Remember the Holland and Barrett's omega-3 fish oils? You take them and fish for a fucking week. And
you burp it up. You shouldn't be burping up anything like that. And also another one for a lot of people is Tudka. That will fuck up a lot of man's stomach, believe it or not. Yeah, I'll give you the shits too. What else was I gonna say? I don't know. I forgot.
Helmsat can mess your drug so it go
massively.
Yeah,
turns it to fucking to mush.
Yeah. Destroyed my whole mouth, mate.
Yeah. Right, we'll finish on because I'm gonna have to Scooby-Doo soon because I've got to fucking get up at 3 o'clock in the morning for my flight. How to manage stiff patterns when you say, do you know when people are going from days to nights or nights to days and they end up with a day where they're not sleeping and stuff? Because I've had this quite a few times and it's on the questions.
There's one reply to this. Modafinil, and then you will be okay, my bro. Right.
For me, managing a day where you've got to, you know, when people are switching from day to night, so they've had to stay awake for the full day and move over, what I find is either trying to fast for as long as possible when you do it, so you start your meals later, or sometimes you've got to accept you're going to have more meals. So if you're waking up at say 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, and you've got all day. So what this question I think means is, so you've got all day, and then you start work at say 7 o'clock, and you've got to go at 7 o'clock in the morning. So you're awake a day and a night. For me, what I usually suggest is the day that you're waking up, either try and sleep for as long as you can, or hold off your meals till say 9, 10, 11, 12, you know, later in the day. But that still means that you've got dinner time till 7 or 8 a.m. the next day to cover your meals. And for a lot of people, that's just going to be too long. So if it is, you're just going to have to potentially add a meal in, maybe a second meal. And what you could potentially do is pull one of those meals from the following day.
Yep. That's exactly what I advise as well. It's just a fast.
I honestly respect people who do them shifts, because I would not be able to do that. It would fucking kill me.
I'd love to see some sort of quantifiable evidence that has on someone's life expectancy of those people who consistently swap to night and day shifts and they're losing.
I've seen my mates and clients in the past. They do 4 days, then 4 nights, and then they get 10 off.
Yeah.
So you're doing 4 day shifts, you get a turnaround day, which is this sort of day, then they bounce straight into 4 nights, or like guys that work offshore, where they go straight to work, and sometimes they've got to do 14 days of back-to-back night shifts, but some of them have to do half of them days and half of them nights.
Yeah. And then they come back to the UK and sesh it out for 6 days, so then you get 4 days sleep.
Yeah. And it's the turnaround that fucks you of having to do. I think if you've just got a full stint of nights then you can adapt to that quicker. It's when you've got to do 4 days and 4 nights, or 7 days and 7 nights. That it's the turnaround, I think, and it fucks you.
As JP would say, go get another fucking job and then come back to me.
The only last one here of relevance was taking Ovex twice every 6 months to prevent as a preventative measure against threadworm. I've never heard about it, so I can't comment.
Taking what?
Something called Ovex.
But we don't get threadworm in this country unless you live in like a third world country like Africa, Pakistan. You might get a worm in your stomach. Then we're talking like
someone eats a lot of fucking sushi as well and raw fish and shit like that. That's what you got to be cautious of.
Ovex is a threadworm treatment. I can't comment because I don't know anything about it.
Nah, bro. I did watch a mad video with a bear that had like a worm like the size of me, Riggs, and Chaz and Hilly put together coming out of his ass.
Bro, in Pakistan they say if you're really fat, it's because you've got a worm in your stomach and the worm eats all the food and it stays in your stomach. My mum used to say to me in the kitchen, goes, "You must have a worm in your stomach." And as I grow up, I think, fucking hell, you lot used to talk some bullshit,
what
man.
happens in South Africa, but it's obviously when they lose all the weight, it's because the tapeworm or whatever it is so big, it does actually take the nutrients in. They just basically fade away.
Full heart.
They both